Additionally, refusing to vote on the aforementioned resolution that condemned white supremacy as a leading cause of gun violence is interesting, because gun violence is domestic terrorism, that the board did not at least hold active discussion on this topic. It is not enough for people to assume that Pearland ISD is against white supremacy and gun violence. Active leadership from the board is necessary to set an example. To the board, I ask for a message of condemnation towards gun violence and white supremacy. In 2019, this is not a hard ask, nor is it controversial.
Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
According to Section 551.042 of the Open Meetings Act, Subclause B, I am moving to place the aforementioned resolution on the agenda for the September meeting.
Thank you, sir. That is heard. Does that require that we do a second now, or seek a second to have it placed on the board now, on the agenda now?
Yes, sir.
I really wish Tanya was here. Okay. Is there anyone that wants to second that? Okay, hearing none. That does not kill it, but there are two members who are not here that we can put that request to. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
On May 2nd, I received a phone call from the assistant principal of my daughter's school at Dawson High School, and she said that my daughter needed a note from my religious leader regarding her hijab, which I thought was kind of strange. One, it was really early in the morning. Two, Hadia's been wearing a hijab since she was in the 4th grade. So of course I contacted my imam, but I also thought it was strange that that was even a question, since it was never brought up in the 5 years that we've been here. Actually, we've been here since she was in 1st grade. So I guess my question, well, since I can't present a question, I would like, hopefully, that some point in the future can be addressed, because when I looked at the school code of conduct, the district code of conduct, it says that hair should be worn neatly and no sort of cap, hats, or any head covering should be worn. My, I guess, suggestion is that can there be sometime in the future, at some point, can there be a religious exception added to that? Because, and it's not even just about Hadia, because yes, we're Muslims and we wear hijab all the time while we're in mixed companies, but there are other religions also. We're not taking into consideration Rastafari, we're not taking into consideration Jewish men who have to wear a yarmulke. I just don't understand why that has not been added, and I hope that you guys will address that so that in the future it can be that somewhere in that paragraph religious exception can be added so things like this cannot happen. As for what happened to my daughter, no one questioned her after that day. I did request a meeting with the principal of the school just so that we can come to a common ground and have some type of discussion about multi-ethnic sensitivity and religious sensitivity, because it needs to be talked about so that things like this doesn't happen anymore. Misunderstandings of this sort doesn't happen with anyone else. But nothing has come of it.
He's really uncomfortable. Like, he's very uncomfortable.
Humiliated and ashamed. Dante, Therese, and Angela Washington say their son's middle school years were ruined after administrators colored in his haircut design with a Sharpie.
He's going to remember this for the rest of his life.
In April, they say the then assistant principal at Barry Miller Junior High School told their 7th grader his haircut violated the dress code. The assistant principal, along with the discipline clerk and teacher, allegedly used a permanent marker to color on the young teen's scalp. Yesterday, his parents filed a federal civil rights lawsuit against the Pearland ISD discipline clerk Helen Day, teacher Jeanette Peterson, and head principal Tony Barcelona. At the time of the incident in April, the school district issued a statement saying an administrator mishandled the situation. But the family's civil rights attorney says that he and the parents have tried several times to resolve the issue with the district.
Pearland Independent School District did not think this was very serious because now he is the head principal of the very school.
As we reported in May, Pearland ISD later amended the dress code, getting rid of restrictions on hairstyles and carvings.
I wouldn't know because, like I said, we haven't been contacted.
His parents say it's not enough and it should have never have happened.
All this could have been resolved a long time ago.
The district responded to my request for an interview with this statement, quote, "Other than media reports, Pearland ISD has yet to receive notification of the lawsuit. Upon receipt, it will be reviewed by our legal counsel. No further comment will be provided at this time."
That week, the last meeting, I sat with Ms. Holt, 2 APs, and Officer Castillo in one room alone. I don't hope that you will ever understand the situation that I'm in, but I want you to imagine if you were in a room with 4 people that much superior to you. I don't think it's a situation anyone should be in, and while I don't blame Ms. Holt or any of those administrators, it was a bad judgment call. But these bad judgment calls shouldn't be what we're going through repeatedly. This should only happen once. And when we have that happen, we should be learning from it. I want this district to invest in training their teachers and administrators to understand the student's perspective and make actions and take actions regarding students' perspectives in a way that will actually benefit students and promote a safe learning environment. Thank you.
With my ask of the district, and that is with the Brazoria County NAACP and the Texas NAACP. It's asking the district to please resolve to not support any form of white supremacy, and that is also complicity in white supremacy as well. Also to ask more specifically in terms of actionable items to make diversity and inclusion training available for public review in this district and public scrutiny, also for a public discussion with the district, and also to implement a system of public accountability when there are deficiencies in what you have implemented. Now, I wanted to share also something that I had shared recently about my own daughter, the profound irony in that. This is edited for brevity. A teacher pointed to me and said, "Hey, Asian girl, what's population density?" I was in complete and utter shock that I had been just referred to as Asian girl. Right after calling me out and answering with, "I don't know," under my breath, the teacher remarked, "Well, you don't fit the stereotype." Then he moved on to the kid sitting to the left of me, to whom he proceeded to say, "Hey, Indian boy, what's population density?" I'm not sure how the student felt about the situation, but I was sitting with my jaw hanging wide open and my face flushed red from embarrassment from being called out in front of the entire class. This teacher said that the student did not fit the stereotype either. When my teacher returned, this teacher remarked, "They don't fit the stereotypes. They're not smart." That was my daughter. The American Academy of Pediatrics in July of this year came out with a policy statement that stated that racism has profoundly negative impact on our children and adolescents. I think that this district does not take that seriously. And
Second? Asking twice for the purposes of the record. Is there a second? No second. Thank you very much.
Thank you.